Hi, it's Paul from howtoplaybass.com here. I've got a lesson aimed at you beginners out there looking to learn some songs. This lesson will teach you how to play a bass line to Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus. It's not exactly the original, but it's pretty close to the original. If you ever played something like what I'm about to show you in a band setting, no one would raise any eyebrows and say you played that wrong or anything like that, so don't worry about that. Pretty easy song to do. Nice fun song to play in a band setting. Not sure I can say much more than that. So let's crack on with the lesson and let's go look at the verse riff. Okay, the verse. You've got a bit of room to be flexible in the verse. And what I'm going to show you to play isn't exactly what's transcribed on or it's not exactly what's played on the record. The sections you need, if I set the metronome going, 2, 3, 4. As long as you hit those beats and those accents in your bass line, you're free to throw in some pickup notes and some 16th note leads in. The 16th note lead-ins work quite well because there's a 16th note kind of drum feel going on. The main notes you need to hit are 2 open E's on beat 1, they're 8th notes, so 1 and. Then on beat 3 and the and of 3, you want to hit 2 B's, which is the 7th fret of the E string. Then on beat 1 and the and of beat 1 on the next bar, open E again. And then on beat 3 and the and of beat 3, you want to hit the A's. Now I'm going to play with the metronome, put some 16th note lifts in. As I said, you're free to put in various rhythmic lifts and approach notes, stuff like that, provided you get the basic pulse of the verse. You can embellish that however you feel. Etc. You can do lots of fills. You can hear on the record, there's if you listen to the original, the guy playing the bass on the record does various different things in this section. So I've showed you the main way that I play it when I play it live, which fits nicely with what's going on around me in terms of the guitar and the drums. But as I say, there is a bit of freedom to experiment there and put some other things in. But if you want to just play it safe, I just play it. And that's not straying out of those notes of E, A and B. It's just doing some rhythmic pickups and some rhythmic lifts, just to give your line a bit more variety and a bit more interest. Okay, the chorus of the tune, pretty straightforward. Play through it at the metronome and we'll talk through the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're back to the verse. Let's talk through the notes. It's pretty straightforward. It's a pattern that repeats. It starts off as open E string, A, 5th fret of the E string, B, 7th fret of the E string, and then that riff that you'll recognise. What you're doing there is you're playing C sharp, 4th fret of the D string, G sharp, 6th fret of the D string, then you're playing the low G sharp, 4th fret of the E string, and D sharp, 6th fret of the A string. So pretty straightforward. And then the variation you have at the end of the chorus is like a 2/4 bar is put in. So it might sound like that would throw you off, but if you listen to the recording and play the notes along with it, you'll not be thrown off. So the last 3 bars are you're back to the verse. So what that riff is, what it's doing is you've got like an extra 4 eighth notes tagged on the end of it. You've got those notes which we've already done, and then you go up to A, 5th fret of the E string, E, 7th fret of the D string, and then B, 7th fret of the E string, up to F sharp, 9th fret of the A string. So what you're doing in all these patterns is you're moving in fifths. If you know what a fifth is, playing up a fifth, it's an easy way to remember it, because you can think of C sharp, G sharp, A, B, but playing the fifth as well. So C sharp, G sharp, A, B. And a fifth, if you don't know what it is, I won't go into the theory, but you can find the fifth above a note by going 2 frets along and 1 string up. So C sharp, 2 frets up, and then 1 string up. Takes us to G sharp, which is the fifth of C sharp. So that's the chorus. It's pretty straightforward. I'll just play through that last pattern one more time. And then you go back to the verse. Okay, after the second chorus, you go to the bridge. Play with the metronome. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's a pretty easy section. Note-wise, it plays this 3 times. It's 2 4-bar patterns that repeat. The first 3 bars are this, and that's 2 on the open E string, then B, 2nd fret of your A string, then open A string. That pattern repeats again. Then you've got the riff that we learnt in the chorus. Remember the fifths? So C sharp, G sharp, low G sharp, D sharp, A, E, and B, F sharp. If you're not sure of where those locations are, rewind the tape to the chorus, and they're spelt out then. And it just repeats that twice. This is the second time. And then the bass drops out, and you've got the lyric. It's just the section before I've got 2 tickets to Iron Maiden. You've got the lyric, it's prom night and I'm lonely, or I feel like mould, whatever it is, where it's just acoustic guitar and vocal. After the second bridge, we've got the outro. I'll play it through slowly without the metronome because the time changes at the end of the outro. So it starts off, it's got a basic verse pattern. If you're familiar with the recording, you know that last section ends. So basically, those last 2 or 3 bars, you go from the... There's 3 hits on the open E string, which match up with what the drummer's playing. And then you've got this bit where it starts to slow down. And those notes are A, G sharp, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, open E. A, 5th fret of the E string, G sharp, 4th fret, F sharp, 2nd fret, G sharp again, F sharp, open E, finishes on open E. And that's the end of the tune.